Time with Daniel Jones from the Haven of Rest, and today is no exception, New Year's Eve or not. Good morning.
Good morning, Richard.
Glad to have you back with us today.
It's good to be here.
So, interestingly, I was gone last week, but during that time, the message that the Haven was sending became a little bit more urgent sounding.
Well, it is. This time of year, we like to end the year, December, in positive cash flow situation.
Sure.
And this year, our donations are lagging a little bit. We're slow on some donations coming in, and even though they've picked up here at the very end of the month a little bit, we are still probably close to $40,000 behind where we want to be at this time of year, given our budget.
And that probably is not usually the case?
Not usually the case. We have a strong November. We have a strong December. Everyone gives during the holidays and year end, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate all those donations. But this year it's been a little bit slow. So,
any notion as to what might be in play here?
I don't know. And some of the other nonprofits like Safe Place and Charitable Union and even the Food Bank have all lagged and have all been in this situation. So some of our basic needs in this community are suffering a little bit right now.
Right. And you phrased that well, basic needs. We're talking about bridging gaps for folks whose basic needs are not being met.
True. And that's a critical part of our social safety net in this town. And you think of a social safety net, so people do fall through, and when we meet them right where they're at, right on the street in a homelessness situation, that's critical to any kind of a town and any community. Mm-hmm. It really measures how you are as a community when you look at how you treat your most vulnerable people.
Right. And there are stories of success that are associated with the programs at the Haven.
Very, very much so. Literally yesterday, we had a gentleman who's been through our life recovery program and been through bouts of homelessness. He's got a big interview coming up on Monday for a job, and the staff at the Haven was doing everything to get him clothes, to get him shoes, to get him even prepped for some interview questions, and it's a game changer for this gentleman. So we, as a staff, just came together to rally around and get this guy going, and I'm excited to see what happens. I hope he gets the job, and I'm hoping his life takes a real jump forward.
Boy, talk about a new year and a turnaround, and what an opportunity.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? I mean, stories of transformation like that exist at the Haven, and we see them every day, and we're lucky as a community to have a place like the Haven. You know, there are many men and women and children out there who don't fall through that social safety net because we are there. And we should be celebrated as this great center of creating change, of transformation for people's lives, rather than just looked at as, ew, it's a soup kitchen. No, it's much more than that. It's so much more than that.
Yeah, and if you take a second to think about what would happen if those opportunities were not available.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be people freezing on the streets. I'm sorry about that, but there would be.
Yeah, and families broken apart probably.
Yeah, and we've tried to measure and manage what we as an organization provide to the community in terms of families that are not broken apart, or people that don't go to the emergency room, or people that don't end up in jail even. And arguably, we can make an impact in this community that's upward of $14 or $15 million of those kind of things that social services we don't save.
Wow.
Or we don't cost the community. We're saving the community those $15 million in costs.
Right.
And those are going to be picked up somewhere, believe me.
Yeah.
But people come to the Haven and they get their services there, and it costs so much more. An ounce of prevention and a pound of cure.
Right. So $40,000, what happens next week if $40,000 hasn't come in?
Well, with any organization that has a six-figure budget or seven-figure budget, you've got some lag time and some leeway, and you've got some assets that you can move around. But we're looking into the January, February, March time frame when donations are historically very lean. What happens in that next 6 to 12 weeks?
Sure.
At some point, services may be cut, or the fundraising budget may go down. And I joke, there are some people who could be out on the street. I mean, we don't want to see that, and we don't want our staff to be hours cut or anything like that. But we'll trim and we'll make the way things do. I mean, last year we got into a situation a little bit similar, and across the board, the entire staff of the Haven took a 10% pay cut.
Oh, my.
And we all gave. I mean, we all put our skin in the game.
Right.
And that's how dedicated our staff is, truly.
So if somebody wants to help right now, how do they do it?
Send us a check down to 11 Green Street, Battle Creek, Michigan, 49014. Visit us on the website at thehavenbc.org, thehavenbc. make a donation online, that kind of thing. So we appreciate all of that. It's the year end. It's the final day of the year, so make that tax-deductible donation today, and let's see some real support for the Haven.
thehavenbc.org. Daniel Jones, thank you again for the update.
Thanks, Richard.
All right, Happy New Year.